For me, designing the perfect picture frame is like picking out a pair of designer shoes. The shoes are meant to complement the outfit, not overpower or understate. So they're both supposed to flow together like they were always meant to be. That's what a frame is to a great painting or a print.
See, I really don't understand why it's not socially acceptable for men to wear half shirts, because this feels fantastic.
Okay, Sace, do me a favor and let's try this again.
Okay.
So they're both supposed to flow together like they were always meant to be. That's what a frame is to a great painting or a print. I have this picture on my vision board for one because this is the weight I'm going back to. This was me. This is me in an exhibit in Kay's gallery like 11, 12 years ago. And these are the two paintings that she took in to represent me with when she first started representing me. Now, I bring this out for this episode on purpose because she said the paintings had to be framed. Well, I had never in my life framed anything other than like a picture from Walmart that you just slide your picture in, okay? So I had no idea, what she was talking about. And at that point in my life, I was a lot meeker than I am now. So I was really afraid she was gonna eat me because she was really, she was kind of mean. And as most gallery owners are. And so I took these in frames that I got on sale at Hobby Lobby, and I didn't know how to attach them, so I used masking tape. I literally used masking tape that wasn't even archival and taped the back of the canvas to the back of the frame so that it held together. When I took my pictures in, Kay was like, oh, hell no. She says, those frames don't match the paintings, first of all. And I was like, what do you mean they don't match? They fit perfectly. So, you know, and then she turned them over and she was like, what have you done? I said, I don't know how to keep them in there. So tape was what I had. And she was like, you don't know how to museum mount a painting? I'm like, who, what?
Big words.
Big words. No, I don't. So even though she was incredibly irritated, she took me through the paces of teaching me right then and there how to museum mount a canvas, a stretch canvas, which is coming up right after we put this picture in this frame here. We're gonna teach you how to do the same thing because it's critical. Don't take the cheap way out. You gotta put frames on things, especially prints. Prints have to be framed to hold the integrity of the print together, also to be able to properly display the print. So now you notice on these, there's a piece of cardboard in here. This cardboard is being removed. They simply put the cardboard in because the rabbet, which is the depth of the frame, needs to have these little bendy doohickeys in here, and for the life of everything in me, I forget what these are called.
Bendy doohickeys.
I forget what they're
Bendy
called.
doohickeys, bendy doohickeys.
But they bend up. And they asked, we measured the depth of the foam board that the frames are mounted to, or the prints are mounted to. So they put in a piece of cardboard at the exact level. Oh, thank you, Sace. You do that. Let me grab the frame. Typically, when I design a frame, there's usually more than one molding involved because I like for it to feel like it's been matted even if there's no matte showing. And I always like to pull a little bit of color into a solid black frame or a solid white frame or a gold frame. I just feel like it finishes the piece off so much nicer. Let me give you another little piece of advice here. Measurements are taken as an exact science when you're having a custom picture frame built. It's exact. You don't over or under because you're not sure how many little tiny clicks there are. It is to the exact click, which is why even though all these frames look exactly the same, this frame is actually for this print. See, this is canvas mounted to
Foam board.
archival foam board. So it doesn't have to have a glass because the canvas has been varnished and sealed, but it does have to have a frame because these edges will peel up.
And that's a no-no.
And that is a total no-no. That's a deal breaker for me. Okay, so. Look at that.
It's so nice.
Isn't that much better? Okay, for real, it's a much better presentation. I just want to point out that nothing on this frame competes with what's going on inside the print itself. Everything here is still a focal point. The frame is just a very nice complement. They flow together. It looks like it was specifically and custom built for this piece because it was. Super excited about that. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Now I forgot to point out, because we have the frames on here, that the table has been covered with a pad and a tablecloth, because the last thing you want to do is get your frame scratched while you're trying to put everything together. So we take great care to protect these, even more so than a finished canvas, because a finished canvas, if it gets a tiny scuff, I can fix it. It's no big deal. But these guys,
That looks really nice.
that is fancy. Okay, so next step, everybody's in. Next step is the museum mounting with the wires so that they hang properly. D-rings, okay? Now, you want to make sure before you start measuring where you're going to put your D-rings to pick the canvas up or the painting or the print and just make sure where your top is, because I can't tell you how many times we've been in a hurry getting a bunch of stuff out the door and we've actually put the D-rings on the bottom of the painting instead of the top. So we are going to kind of measure these out. Now there is a trick to where you want your string to be. It's kind of, for me, it's kind of at the third point if you divided the canvas into thirds. And it sort of also depends on how heavy the piece is, because it's going to lean forward a little bit. So the farther down you go with your string, the further forward that painting is going to hang. So Sace is eyeballing here. I'm going to tell you, yeah, right at 6, yeah. Make a mark with a marker?
Marker, Sharpie.
Sure.
Let's get it back on there and measure it again. That's too high. That's way too high. I want the circle in the center of the 6-inch line.
Well, it is right there, isn't it?
No, it's not.
Well, that's the 6-inch line, Chase.
Yeah, center.
That is centered, Sace.
Let go. Just let go.
He thinks he does it better than me. I'm just gonna let him do it. Because when we were framing and shipping prints out on a regular basis, he did this part. I didn't. I did the painting. And he did this part.
And the stretching. I hated it.
He's really good at stretching the canvas though. They looked really awesome.
Your D-ring needs to come my way just a hair.
There we go. We're in. All of the wire that we use is woven wire because it's the strongest. It's kind of like tying a tie. You're going to go back around the bottom, loop that through.
Make sure you pull this in tight.
Make sure you pull this in tight.
Like, move your hand.
Careful, Chase.
Oh, they slip if you don't tighten them down.
Okay,
I've
and then
strung thousands of these.
you want to make sure that you are wrapping this really tight. The other thing you want to be aware of is that the ends of these wires are deadly. They will puncture anything. Your fingers, your eyes, anything. So you always want to put some tape around the bottom of this. I don't want this so tight. You need to be able to have some give here on this one. Okay, but you don't want it to be up here. You don't want this so much slack that it comes all the way to the top or whatever. Same thing, very quickly, wrap it all the way around. Cut me another piece of string.
This is not string, this is
tape. Cut me another piece of tape, Sace. I'm going back. Okay, so there you have it. So now when it goes on the wall, it's going to be super easy to center. There's one thing left to do here besides getting it wrapped up. We have these pads that go on the back side of these. These little sticky pads are just another little way of telling your client that you're really appreciative and that you respect the fact that you don't want, that they don't want their walls scratched. So these go on the corners. I'm gonna put 2 on each corner. Well, I'll do the 2 down here in this corner. So this way, when they're trying to hang them up on the wall, this edge right here will not come and gouge the wall because it's got a bumper on there. There you have it. So the last thing that happens with these is if you're gonna include a certificate of authenticity, I always put mine on the back of the print in a sheet protector that is double stick taped in so that it stays. And then the sheet protector goes in where it can be, so it's never lost from the painting. And it always comes with the seal of authenticity and all of that other stuff and any other paperwork that you need, depending on, you know, whether it's an open edition, a limited edition, or, you know, whatever. That way, you know, the markings are there. So, and make sure that the artist usually signs the back of the print as well. So, okay, that's how you do it, peeps. It's not that difficult. It just requires that you have a little bit of a knowledge base and a few more tools and things laying around, a little more supplies than what you typically would normally have. But this way, your piece is finished out professionally, it looks outstanding, and it is ready to hang. All right, that's it for this episode. Leave us a comment if you think these look outstanding, because look at the way they all just go together so beautifully. I'm here to tell you, I'm kind of sad about these leaving. I think I want them on my walls, now that they're all framed and beautiful and ready to hang. So anyway, we'll come back next time and show you guys how to pack them up. If you want to see that, leave us a comment below. Again, thanks for joining us. We're having a great time. Hope you're enjoying the new direction of the channel. Until next time, ciao!
I like how you tell them what we're gonna do and then you ask them if that's what they want to do.
We're trying to get them to.
That's a really nice touch. You tell them, this is what we're doing. If you want to see it, say something. I'm giving up on you. You are? Fine, Sace. I've had enough of your BS shiitake anyway. Say that to my face. Bye, Felicia. Sace? Yes. I think you should. What? Rio, my eyes are up here. Sace.